Hello everybody and welcome back to a new soft-spoken video. This is the second time I filmed this video today. That's great. No, I got interrupted a lot this morning. I also blabbed a lot about irrelevant things and then I got a delivery, so yes, I'm just gonna film it all over again because that footage would have needed a lot of editing and just want to keep it easy. So hi everyone, welcome back to a new Letterboxd recap, monthly recap. This is a monthly recurrence on my channel, so if you like listening to people, in this case me, talk about films that I've watched, please consider subscribing, but also follow my not follow, but just like have a look at my film talks playlist where I upload all my videos about my Letterboxd recaps, but also like favorites videos, DVD videos and things like that. So yeah, but yeah, let's jump straight into the films that I've watched in the month of March. March started off strong with a rewatch of Wicked, which is a 5 stars to me, and I'll explain why. I've talked about Wicked before. This is my second time watching it at the cinema, both times. And the first time for me was all about experiencing the songs and the story through the songs. Basically, I don't have a prior history with Wicked or with The Wizard of Oz or anything. I simply started listening to the soundtrack on Spotify before the movie, when the movie came out, but like before I even watched it, just because I wanted to see what the fuss was about. And I fell in love with it. I became obsessed with the songs before I even got to see the film. So by the time I watched the film, I was so into just like knowing all the beats, and of course it's a musical, so you understand most of the story through the songs. This time around, it was more about solidifying how entertaining it is and how much the actors are giving their everything. Like every single actor is giving their 100%, and they're just like selling you this fantasy world and the fantasy of the story. So yes, it's not a perfect film. Yes, it's undersaturated. Yes, it's a known IP, so it's not an original story. Yes, they built this insane set and they could have done more with it. But for me, Wicked is a reminder that sometimes it's okay to just have fun with a film and enjoy it, and yeah, just not nitpick at it and just go along for the ride. So starting off with a 5 stars, Wicked. Next, I watched Jackie Brown by Tarantino. This was my last Tarantino film that I needed to watch, so I'm up to date. I think the project for his 10th film has been postponed, I'm not sure. This was great. This really felt like old Tarantino, early Tarantino. It's been a while since I watched an early Tarantino film. Semi-recently I rewatched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and it just doesn't hit the same. This is, yeah, it just has that Tarantino dialogue, that over-the-top, weird, odd dialogue, and very Tarantino shots and things like that. So it's great, and the story itself is sick. Basically, Jackie Brown is a flight attendant, and she works for she smuggles money for a illegal guns dealer. So she gets caught, and so she's caught at a crossroads between, you know, selling herself, but also like selling out the people she's working for, and so essentially being dead, because these people mean no joke, like they're not joking around. So, you know, she's gonna get killed, or staying silent with the cops, but that means prison time. So which one is it going to be? But Jackie Brown is so sick and badass and everything, and she's gonna find a way to essentially trick. She's selling bullshit to both parts, basically, to have her own agenda. That's sick. So yeah, Jackie Brown is like Tarantino's take on blaxploitation films. Pam Grier was one of the most famous actors in the genre, which was popularized in the 70s. Yeah, that's it. It's a 4 stars. I think I give it 3.5 in the moment because I fell asleep. I watched it when I was tired. Me falling asleep through movies, by the way, is not an indicator of films being bad. I fall asleep with everything and anything. Like, I could be watching my favorite film, and if I'm tired, I will fall asleep. So yeah, but upon reflection, it's a 4. Definitely a 4. Next, I went to cinema and watched The Last Showgirl, the newest Gia Coppola film, starring Pamela Anderson. And also really fun to see Brenda Song. I was really happy to see her on the screen. I didn't know that she was going to be one of the other showgirls. But basically this follows a what's it called, the glitz, the dazzling glitz, the glitz and glamour, I can't remember, but there's this famous ongoing showgirl show that has been going on since the 80s in Las Vegas that is shutting down. It is sadly shutting down, and Pamela Anderson is one of the oldest dancers in the show, and yeah, her world kind of comes crashing down. I love a film where the reason why the plot starts, it's because there is like the impending doom. It's like something bad will happen at the end. So somebody, like our protagonist, will have to move, or our protagonist will have to make a big decision, or you know, the job or something is ending, or somebody's gonna die. If executed well, I like the idea of, you know, everything leading up to it. So this was fine, but I really liked the idea of it. So watching it, I thought a lot about the substance, and how in both films you have 2 female characters that are a bit older, and so they're not at their prime anymore, I guess, by not society, but by what's the word? By industry standards, you know. Whatever her name was, Sparkle, Demi Moore, she was the face of a famous fitness show on the telly, and so yeah, they want to replace her with fresher meat. In this case, the show is just coming to an end because it's just like the end of an era. It's like the end of that type of old school show. Like we clearly understand from other characters, Dave Bautista. I love seeing Dave Bautista in things. Yeah, we understand that it's just like, it's old school. It's old. There's new type of shows coming up in Vegas, and so this was set in the, I want to say 2000s. It's not like set in nowadays. I'm pretty positive it's set in like in the early 2000s. But yeah, so in both cases you have an older female lead that has to kind of like reevaluate where they're at, but it's also like, yeah, coming to terms with their time being finished. But the difference is that in this case, I bought it. I bought the stress, I bought the desperation, because this woman has built up her whole career, which we're going to get into, not quite a career, but her whole career on, she doesn't have much to show for it. Like, it's not like she's rich off of these shows, whereas whatever something Sparkle, she lives in an insane flat. So that's what I didn't like. One of the many things I didn't necessarily click with in the substance is that the stakes are not that high. Like, she is it's more like an ego thing in the substance, whereas here she not only it's all of her dreams are crashing down, but it's also like she needs to put food on the table for herself. We also learned that she has put so much at stake in her life. I'm referring to her daughter that didn't grow up with her, because Pamela Anderson was fully dedicated to her showgirl moment and her showgirl career. And then the other thing I loved about this film is that there's a lot about illusion of the self and the image you have of yourself that might not be completely true. She has this image about what the show is, what it represents, what her place is in the show and in the industry. Is not true. None of it is true. And also, yeah, it's part of it is in her head, but part of it it's clear in front of her eyes. Like she doesn't live in squalor, but she lives borderline in poverty. So this glamorous, glitzy, sparkly life that she has been living on the stage is like, it's a bit of a lie that she's told herself. So yes, so the core, flawless. It was all the other like fluff in the middle, all the other bits, it gets a bit repetitive. It wasn't too like visually, I don't know, it wasn't like so gorgeous I was like, oh my gosh, I'm blown away. It was just fine. But the core story of it, really touching, really also very relevant. I'm loving this era of reevaluating women, of women in the entertainment that we failed essentially. So, you know, women that have been demonized for different reasons. I'm referring to, you know, Paris Hilton, you know, her kind of comeback with her memoir, and then of course the Paris Hilton, you know, situation / ongoing situation with the conservatorship, and people like Lindsay Lohan, people like Kesha, and people like Pamela Anderson. So yeah, she was great. She was really selling it to me. Unfortunately, the whole film wasn't executed in, I don't know, just not in my favorite way. I liked it, but I wasn't blown away. So it's a 3.5. Next, I'm gonna be, actually no, I don't have enough subscribers to be attacked in the comments, but To Live and Die in LA, 3 stars because I thought it was fine. It has a rating of 4 stars on Letterboxd. I know that it's very loved. I didn't care much for it, and I also don't remember anything from it. Like right now, if I think about To Live and Die in LA, I can only think about a couple of like sex scenes or almost sex scenes. That's literally all I can remember. Something about a briefcase. You know what? I don't care. Time. Life is short, and so if you don't click with the film, it's fine. You're allowed to dislike it. I might revisit it. I don't know. But at this point in time, To Live and Die in LA, it's just forgettable to me. But we're gonna move on to one of my favorite films of all time that I've already spoken about at length in my Criterion newest editions video, whatever it's called, Being There with Peter Sellers. This is just like a wonderful, whimsical, weird film by Hal Ashby. I don't think I know anything else by him, no. But so we have a simple-minded, childlike, kind of autistic coded, or, you know, cognitive disability coded main character that essentially the plot starts that where it seems like he's losing everything. He used to be a gardener for a wealthy man, and he has never left the house that he was working and living in. And then all of a sudden the old man, as he calls him, dies, and so Chance has to leave the house. And so things are not looking great for him. Like, we understand pretty quickly that he's not self-sufficient in a lot of ways. He was used to having his lunch prepared for him by the maid, and so things are not looking too bright for him. But the film is, and again, I don't know the exact name, but it's one of those stories where the protagonist, so you know those films where things keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse for the protagonist? This is the opposite. Things keep getting better and better and better and better, but he's passive, he's unaware of it, he's just floating through life, and he's just saying whatever it's on his mind. A lot of times he's not really understanding what is happening, but people project so much on him, and people take so much, take everything he says with such a deep, they take everything he says as something that is really deep, basically. Which, now that I think about it, I don't know if it's true at all, so take it with a grain of salt, but it makes me think about how people or society sometimes, projects on disabled people things like, oh, you're so inspiring, you're so deep, and I don't know, as if disabled people had a deeper understanding of life, which is quite patronizing. But actually people are just like existing and living their lives, and if anything, disabled folks want to be treated like people, just like normal people, not more special, not less, just normal. But yeah, Being There, one of my favorite movies ever. I gave it 4.5 stars this time. I don't remember why, but I remember saying, oh, it's a 4.5, it would be a 5 if what? I don't remember. But anyway, let's leave it there. Next, jumping into something very different. The Terminator and the Terminator... Oh no, the second one is just called Terminator 2 Judgment Day. So Terminator was a rewatch, and Terminator 2 was a first time watch. They're both very fun, they're both very entertaining. I think the first one maybe is a little bit better. I gave 4 stars to both of them, but I don't know, the first one is just like iconic. Watching any iconic action film with Schwarzenegger just makes me laugh, because it makes me think about how I got to know Schwarzenegger earlier in my life, which was through his comedic roles, like Jingle All the Way, or was it Junior, the one with Danny DeVito, the one where he's like pregnant. And then I also remember that terrible, what is it called? It's like he's a clone. I'll put the name here. But yeah, those are not necessarily good examples of Schwarzenegger in his like prime. I'm moving from being a bodybuilder to being an action like buff guy on the screen. I don't know what I'm saying. So yeah, I don't know, it's Terminator is entertaining. The second one is kind of the same but different, and I'm not gonna say like the mini twist at the beginning. It's like it plays with your expectations basically. Then there's a twist, there's a paradox. It fries my brain. Like it just, for some reason I forgot about the fact that it's a paradox. So watching it with my boyfriend, we had to stop the video and he had to write it down for me. And still I was like at first he was trying to explain it to me straight, and I was like, this doesn't make sense. And then he told me it's a paradox. I'm like, okay, but still paradoxes fry my brain because they don't make sense, and that's what a paradox is. So I was just like, I get it, but I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. Whatever. I guess that adds to the lore and the fun of it. But then on top of that, if you put in Terminator 2, it even complicates things even further. Like, whatever. Anyway, they are good fun, and they are just fun films. The bits with the puppet, so fun. Moving on to the newest Bong Joon-ho film, Mickey 17. I went to watch in cinemas, in a cinema, and it was really entertaining. It was really fun. I have to say, I haven't thought of it once ever since I watched it, but in the moment it was really entertaining. Mark Ruffalo is definitely the star of the show. Absolutely incredible. He's basically doing like a over the top, even more over the top Trump kind of vibe. This is so satirical. It's so just like topical, and yeah, it's great. Yeah, honestly, go and watch it. I think the only problem is that at least in the posters I've seen in London, the marketing is from the director of Parasite. This is not like Parasite. This is more like Snowpiercer, Okja, which I still need to watch, but I kind of get the gist of it. It's more like The Host. It's more like, yeah, it's not like Parasite. It's not like Memories of Murder. It's like, it's wacky, it's fun, it's silly, it's satirical, which Parasite is, but in a different way. I hate to say elevated way, but yeah, I guess elevated way. Whatever. Next, I watch a little indie film, a little unknown film. Okay. No, I heard about Strange Darling from Red Letter Media here on YouTube, and one of the guys has a connection to the main actor. What's his name? Kyle, one second. Kyle Gollner. They have a bit of a, well, they like him, but also I think, yeah, I don't know, there's some connection with Kyle Gardner, I can't remember right now. But anyway, Strange Darling, this is the epitome of when we say, when people say that everything feels the same and everything, you know, we're just like recycling old IPs. This is a new idea. This is fun. This is new. This is like, I don't know. It plays with your expectations. It's basically like a horror, or yeah, like a horror serial killer thriller, psychological thriller that plays with your expectations, that is really well acted, that it's really well shot, that is shot on 35mm, as they proudly say in the opening credits. And yeah, this was so much fun, like so much fun. I don't think it's even that long, I don't know, but it's definitely 4 stars. And I mean, it only got, wow, only 613 people rated it. Is that right? That's crazy. Yes, I like it. I liked it a lot, and I wanna find more little films like this that are like getting, you know, getting left behind a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, Strange Darling is really cool. Jumping into A Dagger Through the Heart. I cried, screaming, crying, throwing up. Absolutely bleakest thing I've ever seen, as I say in my review. Adolescence. I'm sure it's on a lot of people's Letterboxd the past month. So it's a Netflix show by Philip Barantini that did Boiling Point. I've only watched the film, not the show. The film is so cool. It's like this relentless build-up of stress and chaos. In a way, it reminds me of Mother by Aronofsky, which I haven't revisited in years, so I don't even know how I would feel about it, but it reminds me of that. And then the one thing that makes Boiling Point unique is that it's all done in one take. And this show is all done in one take. Every episode, I think it's 5, it's a mini series, it's done in one take, and that's absolutely incredible. I don't know, it's like just chapeau. But the story is unbelievably sad. It's about a 13-year-old boy that gets accused of murdering a classmate, a girl. And so, yeah, it's just like it starts off right off the bat with that. And it's not a spoiler, but it's never even a question if he's done it. This is not a who done it. This is about how, as a society, we are failing boys and men, and how it's like we fail women through failing men. It's like it's one big fucked up system, which is the patriarchy. Have you heard of it? And yeah, but also how multifaceted the issue is. It's not so simple as pointing the finger to the parents and saying it's all about the parents, they should have been brought up better, dad should have been more emotionally available, although he's a man himself that has been brought up on even less affectionate terms by his own parents. And then it's not as simple as pointing fingers to the education system, which has its own problems in itself, like so underfunded, and it's just like nobody knows what to do at school to keep these kids anymore, because then we point the fingers at TikTok and, you know, all the red pill content and Jordan Peterson and Andrew Tate and all these things. So it's basically like it takes a village, basically, which is very sad, because it's always easier to just like figure out one specific cause for things, but it turns out things are just like more complicated. So highly recommend Adolescence. Really insanely well acted, but also very important, very relevant story to be told. Next, I watched something a bit different, a bit wacky, another kind of underdog, a bit underrated. This has 7,000 fans, which is still not a lot of people at all. It's The Love Witch by Anna Biller. Anna Biller, apparently she does a lot of narcissistic feminist films, I can read here, and she also has this like old Hollywood vintage aesthetic, so the film looks and feels like a 60s 70s film, but it's also a bit of a out of time story, because at one point they use a smartphone, if I'm not mistaken, so it's a bit like fantastical and weird. But yeah, this is a proper weird girl film. It's about a modern day witch that, yeah, her is on the ever going on the constant quest for love, but it's a deathly quest, let's say. Really fun, really cool. So there's a bit of a mashup, because I think the actress, especially when she smiles, what's her name? Samantha Robinson, she reminds me of Lana Del Rey. Lana Del Rey, so a lot of the times I can see edits on, I used to see them on TikTok, of snippets of this film with the song The Season of the Witch by Lana Del Rey. So I thought for a long time that song was associated with this film. No, because that song is in that other horror film that came out like in 2018 or something. What was it called? It's that adaptation of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Yes. So yeah, just like a weird crossover, but of course this song fits so it would fit so much better in this film because of the aesthetic, because yeah, it's vintage, it's a woman, it's a witch. So, and also I kind of think the main actress kind of resembles Lana Del Rey a little bit. Next, just letting you know, the last few films I didn't like. From here on out, it's all gonna be negative, so maybe you enjoy a bit of negativity. I usually praise films for the most part, but anyway. Triangle of Sadness, disappointing. From the same director, I really like Force Majeure, and Force Majeure is so beautifully subtle. This is a in-your-face, satirical, over-explained story, also too long for my opinion, in my opinion. And it's another rich people bad, rich people vain, people being full of themselves, and gender dynamic are mixed into it. Is race mixed? Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I don't know, but if it was played out as force majeure in like a subtle way, I would have so been into it, but it didn't do it for me. It follows, well, it's like an ensemble cast, but we mainly start off with a couple. They're both models. Well, she's an influencer, he's like a traditional runway model, and they go on a cruise, and then there we meet other characters, but then the cruise gets attacked by pirates, so then they get stranded on an island, and there the dynamic shifts, because then the cleaning lady takes control, because she's the only one that has skills, because of course all the rich people don't have any skills, because I don't know. 3 stars, whatever. Next, I finally watched Old by M. Night Shyamalan. It's bad. It's really bad. It's so incredibly bad. It's not even like, it doesn't even feel like a film. It feels like he just threw together bits and bobs, scenes, conversations, and just like, this is a COVID film, if I'm not mistaken, so it was all entirely filmed in an island in, I don't remember where, in South America, I want to say. And it's all, apart from a few scenes at the beginning, at the end, the whole film is on one beach, which is very COVID friendly. Somehow, these dumb people keep running away from each other and separating. They're on one single beach. Like, can you not just stick together when things started going wrong? No, stupid, absolutely stupid, ridiculous concept. But okay, wait, it's not a ridiculous concept. So the concept is that on this beach, something makes people turn old at a faster rate than it naturally occurs. And of course, at the end there will be a twist that will explain why. That, oh, not actually, no, it doesn't explain why, but it explains why the people were sent there, because they used to be at this is a beach where they got, wait, all of our people on the island, on the beach, are staying at a resort, okay? So they were brought there by the guide or the assigned driver, whatever. So it's like a private beach, okay? So we understand why those people are sent there, not how or why the island, because that's not it. You just have to accept that it's a supernatural event. Now, this is an ensemble cast, and we don't spend enough time with anybody to care a single bit about anybody at all. If the story just focused on the first family, which is a mom, dad, and kids, if the whole story was the kids are aging so much faster, and so it could really make for a cool film about death, and accepting the death of your parents, accepting the death of your children. I don't know, you can, I'm not a filmmaker, but you can make something out of it. this way, nothing matters, I don't care about anybody at all, then things need to be over explained and over complicated. The family dynamic, like the friction between the mom and the dad, is that apparently mom, so she has a condition, something, I don't know, maybe a cancer, whatever, but then we also get thrown in the fact that she cheated on the husband. It's like, we don't need all of these reasons, just like, let's stick to the cancer, you know. Okay, like because they're also getting through a divorce, and then we find out because she cheated, and it's like, can we just stick to one thing? It's either the cancer or the divorce. I don't know, like, I don't know. But yeah, just really, really bad. Just bad. It's 1 star for me. Next, I watched Re-Animator, which was very disappointing. I was very ready to just have a bit of fun and for it to be schlocky. Turned out the main thing is like, there's this massive creep, and there's like a very horrible, gross scene, and it's gross because it's like sexual. It's not gross because there is body horror, because guess what, there is body horror in Re-Animator. And yeah, it's wacky, it's funny, you know, there are redeemable things, but I wasn't too into it. Basically, also the substance definitely took the yellow fluorescent slime from Re-Animator, now that I've seen it, right? Yeah. Basically, we've got a crazy scientist that is like, that has come up with a revitalizing serum fluid thing, that basically can bring somebody back to life even after brain death, which occurs, they keep saying it, it's like 6 to 12 minutes after the heart stops or something. Anyway, his aim is to reanimate people. And he kind of succeeds, but all the people that get reanimated, including a cat, poor cat, they're more like zombies than real people that have come back to life. So that makes for a lot of wacky, silly body horror, and then yeah, there's also a plot with another guy and the university they're at and whatever. I also wanted more. I wanted more body horror. I wanted more. I don't know. I wanted more. The severed head is the iconic thing. The severed head and the body, like, still somehow connected to it. So like the body's carrying the head. I don't know. It's a 2.5. I wasn't too into it. And lastly, I rewatched Trap by M. Night Shyamalan. I gave it 5 stars, I think, when I watched it the first time at the cinema, because it was such a surreal, fun, entertaining experience that way. I have to say, it's not rewatchable. It's not really rewatchable. It's also mostly boring now that I have rewatched it, so I give it 2 stars this time around. But no one will take away my my experience of watching it the first time, and just like, I don't know, the theater experience with other people going like, what I still appreciate it being, M. Night taking the piss, making a film just for his daughter, but also it's not beneficial to his daughter, because if anything, it showcases how much of a terrible actress it is, and also it's a terrible movie. So like, how can that propel your music career? I'm not sure. I mean, she slays, like, musically, you go girl, but like, if this was promotion, I don't think it's doing what you think it's doing. And yeah, but also, I don't know, if your dad is a director, surely you're, if he asks you, oh, let's make a movie together, you're like, sure, let's go, even if you know that you're not able to act, or if you've never been in a film. I don't know, it's weird. I think at this point he's just doing whatever he wants, but I hope we will get another good, M. Night, like older M. Night. I hate that it's always like, oh, the older films are better, whatever. But Old and Trap are terrible. What else has he done recently? Oh, also both in Old and Trap, and this is one thing that I've talked about, I'm sure, in another video, but I like M. Night Shyamalan because it's fun and entertaining. One thing that I'll stand against is that he's very unsympathetic, I don't think it's very ethical how he goes about mental illness at all. Just like, I just want to state it. I don't think it's simplistic. It's also very dangerously stereotyped. Like, going back to Old, the one person that goes crazy and murderous on the beach is the person that has a mental illness. So it's like, okay. Oh, he did knock on the cabin. I need to watch that. This is me done. These are the movies I've seen in the month of March. As always, let me know if you want to share your watches for last month. Please leave a comment down below with a film related emoji, a cinema emoji, a popcorn emoji, a CD, like DVD emoji, whatever you want, so I know that you've made it this far. And yes, if you also made it this far, I have a post going on where if you want to, you can leave your Letterboxd username so I can judge it in an upcoming video. So yes, if you would like, leave your username in that post's comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.